Hope you're doing good. Micah back with a video. Back here to talk about the Galaxy A36 and this huge major update that Samsung sent out to their Samsung Galaxy devices, specifically the Galaxy A36. And this has to do basically with their relationship with Google and really shoring up or optimizing and updating Google Gemini. Now, here's the first time you guys got to see it on camera, how long it took for the screen to light up after pressing the power button. Now that it's active, it's going to pop up, right? But you guys got to see it that first time ago, and if you didn't, rewind it. You'll see. You may even heard me click the power button before it responded. Now all of a sudden everything's good to go, right? So interesting to say the least. You guys got to see that there. Let me go ahead and put in my pin, and then I'm going to pull up the screenshot so we can actually discuss what's inside this update. Now there's a few other pluses and one specific con that still essentially persists, and you guys got to see it right there with the delayed reaction when it comes to the power button and the double touch screen to wake, or feature, if you will, one of the gesture features you find in advanced features. So we'll talk about those as well. I have not tried to use any of the new Gemini features, but we're going to talk about those and actually try them firsthand on camera. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, it's all free. That way you notice my videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. Now let's get into the video, and let's go ahead and pull up that. See, here we go. Here we are. So as you guys see right here, update is relatively substantial. I thought it was going to be something a little bit more well, I would say major, but I guess this is. And maybe this is also why one of the pluses with this update is just a level of optimization that I've noticed with the software and how the phone seems to be a bit more responsive post update. It's been a few days as well, so it's not like it's just the first day with the update and all that. I've allowed this update to kind of really bake into the phone for the last like 2.5 days since receiving the update, just to make sure everything's like really good, and I'm not just having like phantom feelings or honeymoon feelings in terms of right after a reboot or restart, the phone seems like it runs very well before it lags out over time if it's a laggy phone. And in this case, for the most part, I haven't really quite experienced as much lag as I was before. So that is definitely a plus. Things seem to be rolling relatively smooth. And that might be because, or maybe because of Gemini. I mentioned it actually in my 2 weeks review on this device about how Google and Gemini and that AI may be causing some of that lag and delay. That's a lot of AI you're packing into a phone that only has 6 gigs of RAM and that has a less than stellar processor with the Snapdragon Gen 3. So with that being said, what did this update actually bring? Well, they like to always highlight the fact that you can press and hold the side button to access Google Gemini. And then it says the side button is a new way to access Google Gemini or other digital assistant apps quickly instead of using the corner swipe. You can change what the side button does in settings. Complete multiple tasks with one ask. Google Gemini is now seamlessly integrated with Samsung apps such as Calendar, Notes, Reminder, and Clock. That's what it says on this update. You can complete tasks in these apps using information from Gemini with one simple command. Try asking Google Gemini to ask about a YouTube video and save the result in Samsung Notes. Or try to ask Google Gemini to find your favorite sports team schedule and add the games to your calendar. Now, the interesting to note with this update is if we scroll down, as you guys can see here, it came in at over 1 gig, 1.05 gigs, and only the April security patch, no May security patch. So I'm wondering if the May update will come before May ends. I'm hearing May security patches has come to other Samsung Galaxy devices, just not the A36 yet. So we're going to experiment with some of these features here and see if this will actually work. One of the things I would like to try is the reminders, but for me, I don't think the reminders one quite works yet, because Gemini told me it didn't work. I asked the reminders to just simply remind me of something, and it said it didn't have access to reminders yet, which was kind of crazy. So we're going to try here, seamlessly integrate with Samsung apps such as Calendar, Notes, Reminder, and Clock. You can complete tasks in these apps using information from Gemini with the simple command. So, you know what? Let's try the YouTube video first and see what happens. All right. So, let's see, who do you want? We want to use MKBHD as an example. He's got a lot of information out there that Google can make use of. So let's go ahead and go home, and we're gonna press and hold to activate Gemini. We're gonna ask about MKBHD's most latest video and save the information in Samsung Notes. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, here we go. Trial test number 1. Press and hold. Look up MKBHD's most recent YouTube video and save the information in Samsung Notes. All right, here we go.
I saved the information about MKBHD's latest YouTube video to Samsung Notes.
Okay,
so the video is Why Apple, Samsung, and Google Need Each Other, published on May 22nd, 2025.
Ooh, and that was pretty fast. So let's check out the Samsung Note. I guess it's factually correct, easy to understand, informative. I guess you say creative, and I'll submit that. I'll give them their kudos. So let's check out that Samsung Note and see what the information is. So that's all it pretty much says. It just tells you what it's about. So, so interesting. So let's go ahead and delete this one. Let's see, I should be able to delete somewhere. All right, here we go. So I'm going to delete that, move that to trash, let's swipe out. Let's see if we can try that again. MKBHD's most recent video about why Apple, Google, and Samsung need each other. Place all of the information within those videos in the Samsung Notes app.
Sure. Which app do you want to use?
Samsung Notes.
Okay. I've created a note in Samsung Notes with information from MKBHD's video.
Hold up, Gemini. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something is right. I like that. And it was fast. That's what I liked about that. So let's actually check out that note now. So MKBHD, shout out to using you as an example for Google Gemini. Look at this. Why they need each other. And they basically list 3 reasons. Google needs Samsung because Samsung smartphones are the representation of Android phones. That is true. Samsung needs Google because of Google Android, the Play Store, and Google services. That is true. And then Google pays Samsung for pre-installing Gemini on the S25s. Interesting. Now, it did not list the reasons why Apple is in this area, though. So that's the only thing that wasn't quite completed, but still. That's pretty legit. And I haven't watched the video yet, so when I do get around to watching the videos, I actually get some more of the reasons to see how much more correct this actually is. But nonetheless, that actually works now. So now, I think it was yesterday I was trying to use my reminders, but it wouldn't let me. So now let me see if it will let me do this now. So let's say, use Samsung reminders to remind me to play basketball at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Samsung reminders. Follow these steps. 1. Open the Samsung Reminders app. 2.
Remind me with Samsung reminders to play basketball at 12 p.m. tomorrow.
I cannot directly set a reminder in your Samsung Reminders app for you. I am an AI assistant and do not have access to your personal device or applications. To set this
now you just see how it gives you all that goobla gobbler after it just used YouTube and Samsung Notes and all that, but I can't simply ask you to remind me to do something with Samsung reminders. It will actually, if you just say remind me to do something, on this specific time and or date, it will do so with Google Tasks. But with Samsung reminders, for whatever reason, it's not following through. So let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna use calendar and reminders and see what happens. Look at my calendar and take my work schedule for Publix and remind me about it an hour early tomorrow with Samsung reminders.
I can't directly access your personal calendar. We'll set a reminder on your Samsung phone. My capabilities are limited to providing information and generating
So if we actually go back now and read that note, if we come back in here and read that note, what does it say now? It says you can complete tasks with calendar, notes, reminder, and clock. Try asking about YouTube. So it definitely has a YouTube thing down. Now let's see if it will let me look up my team schedule and add the games to my calendar. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Because we see it's acting funny, and you saw it actually tried to access the calendar. So it does. So there's something still wonky. Maybe it's my wording. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Please schedule all of the Minnesota Timberwolves Western Conference Finals games in my calendar.
All right, you want to create these 5 events. Do you want to go ahead and create them right now?
Yes.
Okay, everything's done.
Remind me before every game starts, an hour before the game starts. Remind me an hour before every game starts with Samsung reminders. As you see, so now it's still freaking out, so it can't go like super multiple. Remind me before every game 1 hour. So it's still, yeah. Remind me 1 hour before Saturday's game.
Okay, I've set a reminder for the game on Saturday, May 24th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m.
Remind me with Samsung reminders.
I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request with Samsung reminders.
So again, you see the reminders app is not acting right. So let's see if we can come in here to Samsung and make sure my reminders app is essentially working with no problems, because it should be. Oh, so maybe that's why. We'll see. Get reminders anytime, add reminders anywhere, share. So I don't know if. All right. So now let's see what happens if I try it now. Open Samsung reminders and set a reminder for 12 p.m. tomorrow to play basketball.
Here's how to open Samsung reminders and set a reminder for 12.
Set a reminder with the reminder app for basketball at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Oh.
What reminder app would you like to use? E.g., Google Calendar, Apple Reminders, Todoist, etc. And what would you like the reminder to be for, including?
Use the reminder app to set. Hold up. Let's try that again. Use the reminder app to remind me to play basketball at 12 p.m. tomorrow.
I set a reminder to play basketball at 12 p.m. tomorrow.
Set it with Samsung reminder app.
Okay, I've set the reminder to play basketball for tomorrow at 12 a.m. with Google Tasks.
Delete my most recent tasks within Google Tasks.
I am sorry, I cannot fulfill this request.
That is hilarious. So as we see, Google Gemini is still halfway functional, if you will. It wouldn't open Samsung reminders. It did set the games to my schedule, which is interesting. So it does have access to calendar, even though it literally said before that it didn't. So we see that Gemini has some inner workings to still deal with. It's just so interesting because again, if we come back in here and check this out here, it says you're able to use the reminder app and it's just not working. We saw Samsung Notes, we see Samsung Calendar. We have not tried Clock. So I wonder if Clock is as simple as setting an alarm. So maybe we can try that. That's probably easy. Set an alarm for 12 p.m. to play basketball tomorrow.
I set an alarm for 12 p.m. to play basketball tomorrow.
Remind me at 11 a.m. with the reminder app.
I need to know what you want to be reminded about at 11 a.m.
To play basketball.
to change one task and delete these other two tasks. Do you want to make these changes right now?
Yes.
Okay, everything's done.
So again, it literally said it couldn't delete anything before, and then here I didn't even ask it to delete anything, and then it's like it was amnesiac, or I don't know what to call it. But now it decided to delete the stuff that I needed it to delete, and then still added some. It didn't actually delete. Oh my goodness, Google Gemini is throwing me through a loop. Reminder is the only one I can't get to work. We're gonna try one last time to see if we can get it to work. Trial test number like 15. Let's see what happens. Use reminder to remind me at 12 p.m. tomorrow to play basketball.
Okay, I've set a reminder for tomorrow at 12 p.m. to play basketball.
Delete that reminder.
Sure, you want to delete these two tasks. Do you want to go ahead and delete them right now?
Yes.
Okay, everything's done.
So again, I'll probably play around with it in the background on my own to see if I can get reminder to work, and then I'll do a follow-up video on that. But as we see, at least 3 to 4 apps work in some way, shape, or form, and maybe by reminder app they meant Google Tasks, but it clearly was highlighting Samsung's native app. So it's still a work in process. Maybe there's still some server side activations that need to take place, but at least to some degree, we've got to see Google Gemini work on a Galaxy A36 relatively flawless as well. As you see, it was powering through it with no problems. So that begs the question then, why is the very fundamental basic tasks of the A36 so groggy and laggy, but Gemini works flawlessly? Like, Samsung, please explain that to me. As I said, this update did tweak and optimize the phone software for sure. So I've actually found that to be great. As you guys can see, I've been able to swipe through things, and things open with relative ease. I actually turned my Google Discovery page off to see if that would help with RAM. Maybe I'll turn it back on just to see, but that works relatively fine. Now, if this phone gets hot, then it's going to definitely lag. I've noticed that whenever I have it in the car with me, sometimes it will lag. So again, that's maybe to be expected of a more budget based phone, but not being able to hit the power button and then hitting it back. And look at that. You guys got to see it there, the lag between the hitting the power button and the screen turning on. Why, Samsung? Why? Battery life has also been pretty solid as well. Nothing to speak home about in a bad way. I would arguably say that, again, outside of overheating or just getting really hot, battery has lasted very well on this here Galaxy A36 post the update. I'm definitely able to get 1 day's worth of battery life out of this with no problem. So that's definitely a great sign. And so maybe with the May security patch, maybe that does some more optimizing and tweaking of the software. But something needs to be found, Samsung, on your end as to why pressing the power button or double tap to wake the screen can take a long time for the screen to actually activate. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys received the update on your Samsung Galaxy device and whether or not you've been playing around with Gemini, you've been able to get reminder to work or not. Have you been able to get the other apps to work? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bells are all free. That way you never miss my videos. So you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down there by the like and dislike button. Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's where to keep fresh tech and alive on this channel. Join Micah signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.